evening and welcome to this week's edition of News Geelong. I'm Graham Rawlins, happy to be with you on this cool autumn evening. Hope you've taken some time today to recognise Idaho Day, yes, the International Day Against Homophobia and Transphobia, with the Rainbow Colours theme. Tonight we bring you a detailed insight into this week's City of Greater Geelong annual budget for 2013-14. From the local world of sport, we join the Well Done of Geelong Racing out at the synthetic track at the Geelong Racing Club, as well as local footy and netball, all under the leadership of our very own little eagle, Alex Tigani. While weather-wise, we'll look at the weather forecast for Geelong and the Surf Coast over the next 6 days. The City of Greater Geelong this week presented to its citizens and ratepayers a responsible and robust annual budget that saw residential rates being increased by the lowest level in recent years, only 4.45%. News Geelong joined a strong cross-section of the COGG community at the breakfast release of the draft budget for public comment over the coming 28 days. A very, very responsible budget.
Yes, look, in difficult circumstances, I think people will see it as a responsible budget in that we started off with a $23 million black hole, which was the superannuation defined benefit scheme liability that Council had to find a shortfall for. Nonetheless, we've come up with a surplus budget and also a record capital works budget. So I think there's something there for everyone, but at the same time, there's capacity to meet challenges, but also to take up opportunities that might come along during the next 12 months.
And you outlined that one of the key fiscal priorities was maintaining an operating surplus, which we indicate at the moment about $1.95 million, and that will provide further additional funding for potential capital works programs in the future.
Well, that's right. As I said, if there's a challenge that we come across that we weren't anticipating, there's a bit of a buffer there for that. But also 1.95 can go a long way, and it enables us to apply for government grants that may come along during the next 12 months, state and federal. So I think in that respect it is a responsible budget, but we've also kicked off an efficiency and effectiveness review, which will hopefully identify even further savings over the next 12 months so we can do more with less.
So it's a budget for this year, but you've also got the vision of going forward.
That's right. The work starts immediately on the efficiency and effectiveness review as at Friday. The Mayor and I are sitting down with the financial officers of the Council and the CEO to review the draft report, and that'll then be shared with councillors. So the work on next year's budget starts this week.
We also see a key element that the maintaining of core infrastructure, which is very, very important around our great city.
Yes, that's right. Look, Council delivers over 120 different services that the community has now expected us to continue to provide, and I'm pleased to say that none of those have been cut despite the challenges, and if anything, we've added to that portfolio of services.
And of course, the all-important figure that many people look at is that minimal residential rate increase, and this year 4.45%. We've come to the last couple of budget presentations, we've all been told it's going to be under 5%, coming to 4.9, but this morning 4.5 for the residential rate increase. That is magnificent.
Yeah, look, the forecast was for a 4.9% increase, and that was in the city plan for the last 4 years. We know that the people in the community are doing it tough, and we wanted to play our part in assisting the working poor and those disadvantaged. So we've tried to assist by coming in with this rate increase of 4.45, and I understand that it is the lowest in the region and one of the lowest in the state, if not the lowest, and I would even dare say it probably will challenge the lowest in the country in these financial times.
A very responsible budget.
I believe so, Graham. It's a budget for its times. We are under financial constraints because of the superannuation liability we've had to fund. That's outside our control, but we've done our very best for the community in bringing the rates in at increase it at 4.45%. That was a difficult task to achieve, but we wanted to send a message to the community that we're listening to their concerns. We understand people are doing it tough. On the other hand, the council needs to provide services, needs to cope with the growing community, and this is, I think, therefore a responsible budget, and we are in a very robust financial situation situation, notwithstanding the pressures we're under. The council's well managed, and we need to look at the long-term future, and we'll be doing that progressively over the next 4 years.
Keith, you underlined the fact that we've come through with, from a point of view of Geelong, that we've got some good funding through from the federal government, the state government, and now the City of Greater Geelong at local government level have really put the icing on the cake.
Well, I think with a lot of major projects, it's all about 3 tiers of government working together, and the Geelong Heritage Library and Heritage Centre is a classic case of that, where we've got funds from the state government, from the federal government, and we're also putting in $20 million ourselves to build this wonderful new facility. So it is about collaboration. We always would like more, and there are some areas in Geelong which do need more infrastructure, and we're going to be working with the government on that on a number of different fronts progressively. We do have our own priorities we want to progress, which include the NDIA head office nationally, as well as other things in central Geelong and outside Geelong, like the Melbourne Peninsula with the Safe Harbour. Those things are hopefully a catalyst to encourage business and others to invest in Geelong as well. So we will continue to look at new projects as well, things that are relevant to the needs of our community. We have our public transport structure still needs a lot of work, and that's a state government responsibility essentially, but we'll work with them to achieve that, and looking at other ways in which we can keep our growing community serviced properly and revitalise our CBD along the way, which is one of our other priorities.
Community wellbeing is particularly around how we live in Geelong. Some people think of community wellbeing as just hospitalisation or going to the doctor. This is about having a planned community, having trees in your streets, open space, parks, recreation activities, also the fact that you can go to community health facilities, maternal and child health. It's the whole package of lifestyle that we've got in Geelong, and we really have put some emphasis in this budget on.
Growing our economy was another heading of that you addressed in your speech this morning.
Growing the economy is about jobs. Wherever we go in Australia, jobs are obviously on the top of the bill. But we in Geelong we're trying to make sure that we can drive manufacturing base here. We've got a good manufacturing base. We don't want to give up on that. We also want to make sure that we get new jobs here and support the various enterprises that we've got in Geelong already. But we want more. We're a bit selfish. We want more jobs, and we want to be a stronger economy, and we don't back away from that either.
And that's, I suppose, where the branding of Enterprise Geelong also formulates part of that planning.
Well, Enterprise Geelong, under the new Mayor, Keith Fagg, has been a greater emphasis. So we've put more resources in there. We're going to put a new executive director in there, yet to be appointed, but we're working through some very good people, and we think we'll have a great leadership team to be able to drive the expectations that we have for Enterprise Geelong.
And looking at the City of Greater Geelong itself, how we do our business.
Well, I think we do our business well, but we can always improve. That's about making sure that we're a can-do council, getting planning approvals through, getting building inspections done, making sure that we're supportive of various enterprises around Geelong, including the footy club where we are today. You know, this magnificent facility is part of a federal, state and local government commitment, and we think that we've got a city that's equal to any in Australia.
Thank you to our special guests from the COGG. And don't forget your opportunity of making a comment on the draft budget, which is available to COGG through normal mail or on the COGG website, www.geelongaustralia.com.au. As we go to a break, follow us on YouTube, Twitter and Facebook. News Geelong. Return with more news after this.